I am getting word that we are actually really ready now. So let's give it back up to Super Mario Brothers 3.
All right. It looks like we're about to start the Mario 3 race. As Mitch, Stewie, and HaxOr are still kind of doing their practice stuff, we'll get ready to get into it here real quick. This is going to be Mario 3 100%. So they're going to see every single level in the game. People would think that that's going to have less RNG, but it actually is going to have a just slower trickle of it. So you're going to still see some cool stuff. On the couch with me, I've got Glitch Cat.
Howdy.
I am JabemX. And this is Supersonic. As you all know, the players are TheHaxor. Come on, guys, give it up more. We got Stewie Cartman. And of course, Mitchflowerpower.
Yeah.
All right, so without too much, further ado, let's get into the race as soon as we get a nice countdown. Why don't you guys give me a help? Let's do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Happy Mario 3.
Let's go.
All right, here they go. Right off into 1-1. Even in 1-1, anything can go wrong.
Yeah, this is a lot of P-speed management, and it might seem like just P-speed is just running forward, but there are so many tricks and subtle things that you're going to see these runners doing to maintain P-speed throughout the run.
Yes, and any time you lose P-speed, the strats change drastically because there are jumps you can no longer make and things that you have to wait for, such as the piranha plants that Mitch just ran into.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of cool strats. We're also going to see recovery strats in a big way, as things in this run might not go exactly as they plan.
As one of the longer SMB3 runs, one of the biggest things is who can recover from something. So it's who has the most experience in messing up and then figuring out a way to come back from it.
Yeah, there can be a lot of give and take throughout. Nice P-speed maintenance from HaxOr there.
Yeah, great job. This is the level that everybody's used to collecting a whistle for and just skipping the rest of the game, but since we're in 100%, people are going to play it slightly differently.
Yeah, normally they would grab the leaf there in 1-3, but they don't need to do that because they can actually grab it in the fortress coming up in a couple levels.
So everything is on the table for this run. Leafs, item boxes, is that correct? It's only just 100% get everything, but you can use whatever power-ups or items you have in your box.
It's 100% of the levels that you can die in. That's the way they define a level, basically.
So we're not going to skip anything with the cloud.
Right. There's no importance on like mushroom houses, though, or anything like that. They're actually going to get their leaf in this level because it doesn't take as many frames to go out of their way. They don't have to backtrack in a level that is non-auto-scrolling, and the auto-scroll makes it a cheap pickup.
Oh, okay. I was actually thinking of the warpless strat there.
Yeah.
I like that little swag shell jumble from HaxOr.
Yeah, we may actually see some more swag. This level's known for a couple of fun little glitches. You can get some cool sounds and some interesting visuals.
Is there anything you can do to make this go faster, or do you just gotta play it through?
You just gotta play it through. There's nothing really to do here. You could get every coin and get a white mushroom house, which no one will ever do, but it's cool. So there's one of those little graphical glitches. If you break a block on the screen wrap of the game, it'll stick in the spot that it's in and never go away, even though it's transparent and you can move right through it.
Yeah, actions can write graphics into the background. It's weird.
The castle, though, even though they skipped the whistle in the other level, will be picked up simply because it is the fastest way to end the level.
Yeah, it'll just trigger once you don't actually have to go into the boom boom and fight it. You can just grab that whistle. But they're never actually going to use that throughout the run. They just have it because it was quick here. And
it will be in the first item slot of their inventory, so they're going to have to watch out for not using the whistle there.
Yeah, using a whistle would be really awkward. Mitch is actually going to go for his famous tunnel here. He wants everyone to get excited for it. Everyone pray for the tunnel. Stewie also going for it, he said. HaxOr taking the safer strat. Oh, no tunnels today.
Yeah, that can be really tough. You got to angle yourself right down through that, and if you bonk at all, you lose a little bit of time through that section.
The tunnel itself only saves a small number of frames, but it's the coolest thing. This level has been known to troll people because this one gap over that bridge can take away your P-speed.
Is there a trick to avoiding that? In SMW, you hold jump when you're running over one tile gaps.
There is a way to build it consistently, but it's hard to always know that you're on it.
Because we were talking a little bit earlier about P-speed and the fact that the game checks every handful of frames if you're on the ground. So you can sort of trick it by being in the air when it's not checking. And then when you're landing on the ground and it is checking, it will say, oh, you've just been running this whole time, so it'll increment your...
Right, or you can slow down in a place where you know it's not checking and continue going fast.
All right, so we're heading into our first airship here. So if you got any donations, feel free to read them.
Got you covered. We've got $15 from JabemX, a fish. Can't wait to see my fishy friends in World 3. Careful not to feed Big Bertha some plumber-flavored fish flakes. We've got $15 from Jacob248. I can't wait for the 100% Super Mario Bros. 3 race. Wait no longer. That game was my childhood, and I can't wait to watch them speed through the whole thing. Good luck, racers.
It looks like all three of them got powered up with Fire Flower. You actually saw that they clipped underneath the block and then grabbed it right before the animation was completed for the Fire Flower to come out.
Yeah, there's actually some pretty good strats to do that to save time in other levels, but in this level, because of the auto-scroll, there's no way to save time, unfortunately. We will notice they all got the same boss pattern, which is an easy fire kill for this.
So the wand grab, actually, you say, why don't you jump to grab the wand? It's actually faster because Mario falls off screen quicker at the end of that cutscene to grab the wand at the lower position.
And this is where they're going to get their first P-Wing. Almost every item in this run gets used other than the ones that are forbidden. There are even some uses for the cloud to do levels out of order sometimes. That will be useful.
Yeah, there's a lot of backup strats throughout this run and a lot of like plan B type of situations where things don't go according to plan, but there's a way to recover and basically functionally lose very little time.
Right. World 2 is not going to be terribly divisive for their time, so I think we're going to see a pretty smooth World 2 for everybody. World 3, though, is where we're going to see a real pickup in the diversity of times just based on strats that can go wrong or right.
So for this 100% run, we do need to defeat all the Hammer Brothers that are roaming around on the map. But there is something about the Hammer Brother movement in this map that can save time or lose time. Is that right?
Right. So they try to remove all the Hammer Bros before they do the last pyramid to assure a good boss pattern in the castle. The boss pattern is determined by the number of frames that you're on the overworld between the last level you do and the one that you're going into. There's a very difficult P-speed strat in this level that everyone goes for, but it doesn't look like Stewie got it there.
So P-speed maintenance out of the pipe, when you can once you go through the pipe with P-speed, you can preserve that P-speed on the other side of the pipe by jumping right after you get out.
And you can only do that if you get your P-speed going in without touching the pipe, which is very difficult to conceptualize, but the entrance to the pipe is actually 1 pixel away from the pipe.
All right, you did see that they fought Boom Boom just a while ago. They shoot 5 fireballs at it rather than stomping on it 3 times to save time.
Yes, and you want to do it as close as possible because Mario can only have 2 fireballs on the screen at a time. So if you're closer to him, you can shoot the fireballs faster.
It's really interesting how all of these racers have had different bumps in the road, even so far, but yet they're kind of in relatively the same position. I think it really speaks to the strength of their backup strats in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, in this level, they're only frames apart in some cases, and it's really cool. There's some alternate strats for that level in particular that nobody went for, but there's a lot of different ways to do this game the right way, and it's really cool.
It's interesting when they're trying to not get 3 of the same card from that slot box at the end there, because if you got 3 of the same, it would trigger a fanfare that gives you a lot of 1-ups and waste a ton of time.
Right, especially the star. The star one is more fanfare than anything, and it takes up a lot of time.
If these guys need 5 extra lives, that's some bad news.
I mean 5 1-ups is nice, but don't want to wait through that cutscene.
Yeah, this run doesn't have a lot of like suicide strats or anything, so the lives don't really go to anything beneficial, which, they could, but in this one they're not going to. That was a very nice P-speed build.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about with the where it checks if you're on the ground, so they jump and move in really strategic ways. It looks like they're just moving forward, but actually a lot of those jumps are really heavily controlled so that they're on the ground when they want to be, and they're in the air when the game's not checking if they're running. Right,
you want to keep your feet to the ground for the most part. Mario can really only get good acceleration when he's on the ground for P-speed purposes.
It's one thing that's just amazing about this run. There's so much subtlety to P-speed preservation and maintenance that it gets really, really tech-heavy.
Okay, we are seeing a route divergence here. So Haxor is actually in the pyramid level right now, while Stewie is in 2-4.
Yeah, the Hammer Bro can do some pretty trolly things to you in World 2. If it crosses over a level that you're not expecting it to, it makes it so that even though you have some weird pathing you'll have to do, for the third Hammer Bro beyond the rock, you're still coming out better to just go ahead and do the pyramid.
But they want to make sure that they move correctly into the castle at the end to save those frames and get a consistent boss pattern.
Right.
Not picking up the frog suit from the...
it just doesn't help as much as you think. I know some big fans of the frog suit are out there.
But it looks cool.
It is the coolest.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to the frog suit fans.
They're always the best. Cartman is in the pyramid, which is a kind of a run killer for a lot of people, not because it's terribly killing, but it's very easy to lose a lot of time in that level, and it's early in the game.
Yeah, getting those shells to break the blocks and then sliding that duck slide underneath that one tile gap can be a big source of gain or loss.
Yeah, a lot of good tech that just requires good reaction speed and fast movement. But we got everybody in the World 2 airship now. Everyone's really close. This is a lot closer than I was expecting, but it's pretty good.
Is there any lag reduction? I know in like the World 8 airships, you want to destroy the bombs and things to reduce lag a little bit. Is that happening here at all, or there's not enough sprites to create lag?
Oh, there's not a lot of lag to reduce in this particular airship. There's some in others, but not this one. This is probably a good time for more donations since everybody's in the airship all at once.
Absolutely. We've got $20 from Gadian. Had to donate during the SMB3 100% race. Good luck to the racers. Let's get those clips and help prevent cancer.
Thanks, Gadian.
$10 from TheHaxor, who says, "Hey friends, Tina here. Am I in time for the 100% all coin ships race?"
Oh, God.
Now, a coin ship could happen, technically. If they have to keep a good track of their coin count and their score for the entire game. They don't want any 77s or 88s, any multiple of 11, along with a score total that, in combination, would cause one of the normal Hammer Bros to become a coin ship, which is a terrible auto-scroller that costs a lot of time.
Isn't it that if your coins are a multiple of 11 and the tens digit of your score is that same value? So if you have 11 coins and the tens digit is 1, that's how that works, right?
Right.
And it only works in Worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6?
Yes.
Right?
The levels, yeah, with Hammer Bros. It's a nice peaceful level in the water.
Sea creatures.
Before the troublesome World 3 levels start.
It really isn't worth it to pick up the frog suit and do this just a little bit faster. It seems like they're really slowing down, but I guess the mushroom house would.
Getting P-speed on top of that area in the middle is a really big time save, and just jumping. The frog suit just can never get that fast.
Someday it will. We believe in you, frog suit.
The frog's been training.
So there's a pretty difficult P-speed strat in this level.
Yes.
They are just foregoing riding on that line platform and instead just getting P-speed and bouncing off these fish with a really cool combo.
Yeah, and these fish aren't exactly in the same spot every time. There's a small reaction you have to pull off if they're in a little bit of a deviation. And just fireballing that last piranha plant is very difficult.
Yeah. Fun fact about that brown platform on the line is it doesn't count as ground. So if you were to only stand on that platform and bounce on the fish, you would eventually get a 1-up, even though you touched the ground.
Everybody got that. That's awesome.
Every single one of them. Very difficult strat. Great job, guys. This is another one it's a lot of really interesting platforming. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong here. The windmills can just take away all your speed. And the places that you can land are just narrow and moving.
This is really, really great. I'm just like watching.
Yeah.
Just enthralled with this.
Mario 3 is one of the best speed games because of how fast things move. Everyone was just going at such lightning speed the whole game. P-speed in this game is different than Mario World. It's a real rocket taking off.
So no attempt on the door trick where you get that 1 frame door entry. I don't know if they were going to go for that or not. It looks like Haxor and Mitch both just went the safe way.
No one really likes to do the door 3 trick, but it's one of my favorite tricks. I love it.
Yeah, I saw this guy get it once.
Yeah.
Stewie
did it!
That's
the madman did it!
That was fantastic.
Beautiful.
And that's what I mean with these backup strats, that there's always, if you mess something up, you could save it in another place. And so you really have to be actively thinking about your route and where you're at this whole time. There's a lot of it's not just memorization and execution. There's a lot of like thought that goes into running it while you're doing it.
It's also a way for racers to always have hope. Because there's always like the dangerous strat that nobody else is going to do.
All right, now you can see they're in 3-5. They switched to the P-wing because it's actually faster to just fly above the stage rather than going into the water because it's actually a lot slower to swim.
Yeah, there's actually some really cool P-speed swim strats that make it a little faster, but they've only put that into the task.
Does having P-speed make you swim faster? Is that can you manipulate?
There are ways to make it go into the water and do quick movements for little bits of time. This is a nice peaceful level as well.
I like how Lakitu can never catch them.
Yeah.
They're just running too fast. He throws the spinies, but they're already way behind.
Lakitu was such a troll when you're playing this casually as a kid.
He tries his best.
Here he's just kind of there. This auto scroll here is one of the levels that people would skip in Warpless at all costs. Anytime the Hammer Bro crosses over this level, it's a huge pain. But in this, they're going to have to do it anyways. So they're going to do like the 1-4, and they're just going to have some fun here and try to make as many glitched sprites as they can.
I like the green donut block there.
Yeah, they're just going to have fun.
If you got any donations, feel free to read them.
I do indeed. We've got $25 from Earthmelon, who says, best of luck to the Racers. Shout out to GlitchCat7.
Woohoo! I think I'm the one person up here that doesn't run this game.
And we've got
that's why you need the shout outs.
$5 from Ceaselessly, who says, choo choo, let's get a Super Mario Bros. 3 $5 train going. Dear runners, stay hype and stay hydrated.
It's a good thing we got that. We don't have Stay Hydrated bot to remind us. No chat here. There's actually a dangerous strat you can do to get around that windmill that Stewie chose not to go for, but the windmills is a very big obstacle in that level.
Getting through 3-7 pretty smoothly by keeping P-speed the entire way.
Yeah, those clouds are meant to be gotten to with a vine, but everybody here is just going to kind of reject the idea of using those, and they're just going to get up there their own way.
Underwater fortress here.
If you just noticed on Mitch's screen, he did the super swim. If you have your body half in water and half out of water, and then you duck into the water, you get this super fast swim, which he did to get to the pipe at the very beginning.
That pretty much like cuts your hitbox in half when you crouch like that, right? Like when you're going into the water, it treats it like you're small in a way.
Right, and it also just speeds you up really bizarrely high for a water section. This is a level with Boss Bass, everyone's favorite enemy in Mario 3. With the potential to eat you whole,
The nice thing about Boss Bass is that if you move the same way, Boss Bass is pretty much always going to act the same way because it is kind of trying to target and chase you, so it's not necessarily random.
He does have a bit of the Lakitu effect, where he's, for the speedrunners, he's in the same spots all the time, and they're just kind of running around him. But he's still pretty threatening if you get off your normal route at all.
Oh, Stewie Cartman just throwing that grab block to kill Boss Bass. You can do that. He comes back, but you can kill him.
Right. Boss Bass is immortal. He is always resurrected.
Got the H jump from Haxor.
The H jump is surprisingly difficult to pull off, and everybody is always excited when they get their H.
And notice Haxor bringing one of those lit up grab blocks with him through the pipe in order to kill a fish that was going to be there.
And looks like the Haxor is the first one to make it to the airship.
Haxor with a little bit of a lead right now.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, clap for that.
Coming in next with the
Mitch is coming in. He's in the same screen, so it's anybody's game still, but it's definitely a small lead for Haxor right now. Stewie's not too far behind, though. He's not even a level behind.
Yeah, there's a lot of things coming up in the late game, too, that can sort of be a make it or break it YOLO sort of strat.
Right. Still a little bit of RNG and some big worlds. World 7 is going to be huge.
Yeah, World 7.
World 6, I talked to everybody before this, and everybody said that World 6 is going to be something to keep an eye on because there's a lot that can go on there.
And we are going to show off those new subpixel strats, too, that were mentioned in the interview.
Right. Lots of really cool stuff has come up lately with just manipulating the mechanics of this game that nobody really thought about before. But we are in an airship, and that's probably another good time for a few donations.
Sure thing. We've got $50 from Diesel Pilot. For the first time since I've watched GDQ events, I'm in a financial position to be able to donate. I wanted to donate during the event of the person whose runs got me watching them in the first place. Good luck to Mitchflowerpower and all the runners. Save the frames, stop cancer. $25 from GamerDad50, who says, my 5-year-old twins are putting this money towards the Haxor's victory today.
Oof. Throwing
Hey guys,
down.
come on, cheer for that.
And $10 from Glitch the Gamer, donating $10 for that amazing Door 3 trick.
Worth
That was
it.
definitely worthy of that. Yeah, that was awesome. Everybody took down Wendy with no problem. Wendy is the absolute terror of randomizer, but here we've got a nice consistent strat with fire on a flat plane. She doesn't shake the room.
And again, that's a result of taking a consistent amount of frames to get into that castle on the map. Is that correct? That they know they're going to get a good pattern because they did it that way.
Right, they're coming from the fort, which is always the same.
Okay, we are going to see some various P-Speed strats in 4-1 here.
4-1 has some dangerous strats, but a lot of people will just pick up a shell and use it as a shield so that they can do something very safe. But we get to see both here because Haxor and Mitch have done different strats, and now we'll see how Stewie does it.
Yeah, you can do doing turnbacks. When you have P-Speed, if you want to do like a little left-right or a little turnback, it can be really easy to lose your P-Speed in that moment. So bringing a shell acts like a shield, and you can just run straight through instead of having to do a little left-right to avoid it.
Right. And if you look at Mitch, he was using that throw block, which might have looked like it was like a shield, but that's actually to create a despawn. You'll see that Haxor actually put the Hammer Bros to sleep. And that's just so that he can do a few levels where the Hammer Bros won't be doing the movements after the levels, which will just cut down on a little bit of time.
I didn't think his gameplay was that boring.
He was to the Hammer Bros. He's skipping them for now.
Arguably, a lot of people's favorite stage is 4-3 because of the P-Speed strat that you do in the stage is really cool.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun to just zip around through that and all the little tight nooks, bouncing your head off ceilings and just getting it where you need to go super fast.
Yeah, the favorable levels for the speedrunner are ones that start out with enough of a runway to just get P-Speed right away, and then it gets more challenging later in areas that don't have a large runway to be able to build up P-Speed early in the level instead of just right at the end.
Haxor is in 4-1, which is considered the hardest level to do correctly in the game. He used a star to make it a little easier, like Mitch is doing right now, but he did it perfectly. And we'll see Mitch, he rubbed a wall, but otherwise perfect. And that's very difficult for all the runners. Everyone usually dreads this level.
Yeah, abusing the corner. Oh, Stewie got it too. Nice job. Abusing the corner of that thwomp where you can kind of jump right through the edge of it and kind of graze against the image of the thwomp, but not actually touch the hitbox. Right,
it's a terrifying jump, but it's really cool when you get it.
Mitch got the P-speed up in the ceiling there in 4-4.
Yeah, going off the Lakitu to get up on that top wall there where you're not supposed to get, and then the crouch off that one pillar into the water again, like we.
Ooh, Mitch almost got a crown. Not the kind he wants, though. It's
So this route only relies on power-ups, like item boxes that are actually either given by the princess in the letters at the end or picked up from the Hammer Brothers, that they're never going to actually go to a mushroom house to get anything, and they can just use everything they've got.
Yeah, the mushroom houses wouldn't produce anything that could save a whole lot of time. Almost everything they need is in the levels, but there are some backup strats that can be used to use, like the mushroom house that gives the hammer, for instance. Some people can get that as some insurance for getting a fast Bowser Castle at the end of the game. This is another one of the hardest levels to get P-speed in the game. The bottom level in World 4 here.
Yeah, this is like we were talking about before, where the game only checks every handful of frames if you're running. So if you plan your jumps to be in those times when the game isn't checking, you just won't lose anything and it won't decrement. You could get P-speed that way, but
yeah,
it's very, very difficult.
We see that none of the players actually got that P-speed strat.
I think there was like 4 frame perfect jumps to get that, or it's like
it's a very small
higher
handful.
number than 1.
It's a very small handful of frames and pixels that work. This board also has some pretty cool early P-speed strats, but we see Mitch and Haxor both did this very well. Very hard for new runners to do that sort of thing. Stewie having a little trouble with stairs.
Yeah, stairs are pretty difficult to get.
Don't we all?
Sometimes.
Everyone hates stairs in Mario games.
All right, so we're heading into the World 4 airship, which moves at a blistering 15 pixels per second.
It's the absolute slowest level in the game, despite being incredibly short distance-wise.
So now's a good time to read some donations.
Yes, sir. We've got $20.20 from the Sticky Stick Man. Here's to the first Mario run of the new decade. If whoever's in the lead when the announcer reads this wins, I'll donate an extra $10. Congrats to GDQ and all its staff on an amazing decade.
Haxor has a new router.
We've also got $5.50 from 50% Gaming. Fantastic people on the couch and an all-star cast running. Much love to the NES Mario community. I have my money on the Haxor, so don't let me down. Let's go.
Wow.
No pressure.
People getting really hyped for the Haxor today.
Yeah,
you can cheer for that.
Like that.
$10 from Geek and Decay. Loving the SMB3 race. When are we having the Frog Suit 100% race as a donation incentive? Best of luck to all the runners.
I would do that.
Yeah, I like that.
Sounds fun.
Love the frog.
I'm casting my vote for that right now.
$50 from Hope and Caleb. Hi, AGDQ. Happy 10th anniversary. We're staying up late to watch the SMB3 race, but if you can read our donation before our bedtime, then our dad promises to match our donation. Keep up the great work. We got time for this one, so here it is. Sandalfon, $225, says, swing your arms from side to side, come on. It's time to go, do the Mario. Take one step, and then again, let's do the Mario. All together now. Just like that.
I wish I could remember the second half of that song.
There was a second half.
I don't remember the second half.
Everything has a second half.
Last verse is the first.
All right, so we did see that Haxor did lose the Fire Flower on the fight. So I think the next Fire Flower, you don't get until like 5-7, I believe.
It's a long time journey for between now and the Fire Flower that he's going to pick up.
So what kind of backup strats is Haxor going to be looking for as he moves into World 5? The comfortable cloud world where nothing bad can ever happen because there's too many nice comfy clouds.
There is also another Fire Flower in 5.2 that he can pick up. It's in a not so great place to pick up, but I have seen people go for that one before. So it's just going to depend on what he wants to pick up. Other than that, there's nothing in almost every fort uses fire flowers except for this one, so it's not a great place to pick it up here. After that, you'd have to get to 5-7, I believe, to get the next one.
So using this little dev intended shortcut here, instead of falling all the way down through that, you just go around this little shortcut.
Right.
Is there slope speed in this? When they're sliding on the slope, and then if you neutral the D-pad, you go faster. You preserve that slow momentum. That's how it works in Mario World. Is that how it works here?
If you hold down and you jump, you actually have the fastest speed in the game. The fastest speed you can attain is sliding. And when you jump, it will preserve that even if you start holding forward after you jump.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. And if you do frame perfect jumps, you can keep that speed even after you land for a little bit.
Okay, so just be tasked.
Yeah. You can see those like little flutter steps after they do the bouncing from the slides, and that means they've kept at least a lot of that speed. You lose it slowly the number of frames that you run across the ground.
A really nice clear from Mitch on that fort. The strat right at the beginning where he just falls right onto that one block right by the lava. The first time he did that, I'm like, oh, you died. Oh, wait, no, he's fine.
That was actually a great improv strat from Haxor to use a star in this level, because the normal way to do it is with the Fire Flower, and he doesn't have Fire Flower. So he knew that the only way that he was going to be able to do this comfortably was to use a star at the beginning, which is going to take it away later. But some of the stars that you use in later levels are really just more comfort stars. They just make the level more comfortable.
Yeah, that's that improvisation coming back in, that you always have to be aware of where you're at and what you might have to do later in order to back yourself up.
And I had entirely forgotten that there was a Fire Flower in this level.
I forgot about that.
You always just go past it.
That's why we're on the cage.
Yeah.
They are playing the game.
Good to know that there's a Fire Flower there for backups.
And today I learned something. One of the most comfortable forts to go through. It's nice and just kind of fun to do jumps. Through the waffles and over the thwomps.
Those death waffles, though.
The only time
I eat one.
The only game where people don't want waffles.
So the Spiral Palace here, Mitch? Mitch is in the Spiral Palace right now. That actually doesn't count as an exit, does it? So if it weren't necessary to play this for 100%, you actually wouldn't have to. Is that correct?
Right. This is it depends on how you interpret, I guess, level you can die in. But this is technically coded as a pipe transition, like you get in the overworld and other places.
Mitch actually kept P-Speed throughout that entire section.
Keeping P-Speed in the Twisty Castle is quite difficult, and it's a real badge of honor to keep it the whole way through. You don't lose much time if you lose it. Oh, that was super cool. Stewie got the red pipe.
The Sunday sequence break.
Yeah, you should totally clap for that. That was amazing.
And it was totally for swag, too, and didn't save time.
I've actually never seen that done before, but yeah, you can clip into a vertical pipe, you can clip into the edge of it and press down, you can it acts like you're going into a downward pipe. It's the same way the wrong warp in 7.1 works.
Right. Most people have probably seen it in that instance, but there's no special trick for it here. It doesn't do any code rewriting. These are some of the levels that people dread the P-Speed build in the most. It's not necessarily a level you're afraid to die in, the ones with these donut blocks at the bottom, but it's very easy to not get P-Speed and have to do a backup strat here.
A really nice run for Haxor, getting all the way through that with P-Speed. That was amazing.
Yep, that was a great job. Buzzy Beetle auto scroller.
Auto-scroller, what a surprise.
Everyone's favorite. It's what we all came here for. A lot of music boxes in Hammer Bros, which unfortunately are almost totally useless in this game.
This is the only level in the game with these little beetles that descend, right? Except for that one level on the back of the box that wasn't real. The back of the SMB3 box featured a level that had Buzzy Beetles in it that's not actually in the game.
To be honest, I never thought about it, but I can't think of any that have them in there now. I know they've been used extensively in ROM hacks recently. They can do some interesting things with ceiling clips and stuff. So I've heard that Stewie is going for the Jesus clip. For those of you who don't know, that's an extremely difficult fort clip that has a chance to really mess up your progression, because you have to if you fail, you do die, and you have to recollect all of your power-ups in different stages. And as we saw from HaxorR, just getting back one power-up can be difficult, and this would be 2. But he's going to go for it, and if he does, he's going to save a nice little chunk of time.
Yeah, HaxorR's been recovering really nicely by picking up that other Firefly, but it did kind of give Mitch just a little bit of a lead, and now it's flip-flop, where HaxorR was in Mitch's place.
Yeah, they're
reversed.
They're about exactly as far apart as they were before. It's just a different person.
So now we are actually seeing the fortress being played intended. So,
and this fort's a little awkward too, because the ceiling there, it's not just a ceiling or, a place where you go off screen like most Mario. You can go into lava up there. That's a lava ceiling.
I kind of wonder who's Bowser's carpenter or
Here he goes.
house builder was.
Oh no! I was so hoping for it.
That was a good try, though.
Good try.
He's just going to use a mushroom house. He's going to get his power back.
Let's talk a little bit about the way clipping in this game works. You can crouch, and with a proper subpixel, you can shove your feet basically into the seam between 2 boxes, and then stand up. It just stop crouching, and then the game thinks, oh, you're just standing up in the wall, so it just pushes you through. And all the clips kind of function on that principle.
Yeah, Mario 3 tried to put in the most fail-proof, save-the-player method possible, and anytime you're stuck in a wall, it just shoots you right. No matter what kind of clip it is, no matter what happens, it's just going to push the player right until they're free. And you're basically tricking the game into thinking that you are stuck in a full wall, but really it's just your subpixels are barely in there.
And that's why setting up a favorable subpixel for this new strategy that we're going to see soon, that's why that's so important.
Right.
Because it produces a reliable clip setup, where before you just sort of had to guess whether or not you had the favorable subpixel.
Yeah, before we were just mashing our forehead into walls and hoping. And now there's a science to it.
We do it with a little more grace and finesse. Artistically mashing your head into the wall.
Yeah. And it still only makes it closer, because you can still miss your pixel or something, and it's only giving you the first try. You won't have a luck factor.
Well, what's exciting is that with this discovery, there's the potential that there are a lot of other subpixel setups, which would make other clips in this run way more viable if they could be found.
Right. We even just toyed around with some in the practice room, and we thought of some pretty cool new ways to do other levels. So we still haven't seen the full potential of Mario 3. Surprisingly, after all this time, it's just going to keep getting better. People are always lowering the chances, which give better runs, and they're improving the strategies and getting better P speeds.
All right, since we're pretty much in auto-scroller land here, you can feel free to read some donations.
Absolutely. We've got $50 from Payout Pops. Thanks, AGDQ. This is Hope and Caleb's Pops matching their donation as promised. Thanks for reading their comment. It made their night. Save the frames and keep making a difference.
Woo! Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. $50 from Bobby132. Super Mario Bros. 3 is the greatest game. Let me hear an "It's a me, Mario" from the crowd.
I hope you guys heard that.
It's a them. Mario.
It was them.
Speaking of things I want to hear some donations towards the Zelda Skyward Sword file name, which is closing very soon. Right now it's between honk and lonk. About $600 difference between the two. So get those donations in.
You guys can win. All right. Haxor and Mitch in the same room as we've seen them before. It's still a really tight race, but here is that World 6 that they were talking about that they were both worried about. They're both saying that this is where things could go wrong the most. Not necessarily that levels have high killing potential, but that these are very difficult to optimize levels.
Yeah, one thing I just learned today, not only the fact that those little plants, the piranha plants with the little spike ball, they're called patui plants, which I never knew, but they're actually on a global cycle. So small differences can completely change the way they act and might have to force the players to improvise a little bit.
Right, most things work on a spawn when you get close enough to them system, but if they are on that global timer, then even if you fix your setup halfway through the level, you'll get there and those things won't be doing the same thing they normally do, which is very dangerous for a speed run.
Yeah, especially if you want it to be in the up or down position, and that really matters.
Right. And, Mitch showing off that really fast mashing speed that he has.
I don't know how he mashes that fast. It's really
He uses
amazing.
2 hands. That's the secret.
It looks like a ricochet going in rapid speeds.
Oof. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Stewie lost his fire in 6-1.
Where's the next recovery point?
I believe that you can get a fire flower in the level that Mitch and Haxor are in, which would be helpful because that's an auto scroll. But there's other places where they're going to use P-Wings anyways, because this world has a bunch of places where flight is going to be great help to them. And when you do that, it erases the downside of losing power-ups in other levels anyways.
Let's see. So Stewie's just getting the hammer right now. Isn't there going to be like a damage boost strat coming up pretty soon? Like even if he got another power up, like Stewie.
Right. Yeah. Like I was saying, they're gonna use P-Wings, so they have pretty much 2 damage boosts that they could theoretically use to go faster, and he's just gonna take a leaf. It looks like, which is perfectly valid. It loses time in a lot of levels because there's a small drag with the leaf suit every time you jump with it, but on an auto scroller you can't really lose that time anyways. And
there's that damage boost strat for Mitch going through those spikes and taking 2 hits to outrun that platform that he was on and let him get a little bit faster through there. And then keeping the star in for Boom Boom. Can he make it?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, that's a 1-hit kill. And it produces the very ever-elusive upside-down question orb.
Yeah, if you overkill Boom Boom with too many frames, then his box appears in the middle, and it actually is way faster than waiting for Boom Boom to die the normal way.
It's like 1 frame per hit, basically.
Yeah, every frame you're hitting him. So if you're standing over top of him for 0.3 seconds here, you destroy him. Having a little trouble with the P-Speed strat in this level, Haxor is... That was a little weird little Yoda thing I did there. I didn't do that on purpose.
Still managed to get through it just fine.
Is P-Speed the same? Does it work the same on ice? Does running on ice actually matter or slow you down or make it harder to generate?
So the ice shouldn't matter except for the acceleration from the ground. At the very start, when you're trying to move on the ice, it's going to be slow. But once you get P-Speed, it's all the same, unless you try to stop, in which case you will be disappointed in how quickly you come to an end.
Stewie also gets the overflow kill.
Mitch is in one of the most difficult levels right now to do quickly, and he got through no problem. You have to do it small based on what's going on in the other levels, and that is just not a easy swim path. Here goes Haxor doing the same thing, doing a great job. He ran straight into the water. If you run into the water, you go in super fast instead of jumping into the water, which can only be done in a few levels. Wow, Wow, and Haxor even got the despawn on the plant that moves downward. That was an excellent swing.
All right, so on Mitch's screen, he put on the P-Wing for this stage. He's going to go for a despawn on the Nipper, which looks like he did mess up a little bit, so he has to use the backup strat of getting the Koopa shell.
This is a very peculiar little despawn. He landed on the hill too low, and that's how he knew that he was going to need to pick up that shell. It's very, very specific.
Yeah, I'm really impressed that Mitch can just figure that out in the moment and he knew exactly what to do. There was no hesitation. He saw something messed up and he just did the backup strat. That's more or less how you're supposed to do it. Like the devs intend you to fly up with the shell and then kill those 2 nippers, but you could despawn the one on the right and just be able to get through without bringing the shell.
Right. We'll see if Stewie does the fast strat, which is to despawn 1 or 2. There are different despawn strats that you can use there. And now he's back to full. He's right with everybody else. He's 1 level behind, and he's got a chance at some catch-up here, it looks like.
Yeah, I love how dynamic the race has been. It's been so close all the time, and like any one little mistake.
Stewie gets
Hey, he gets the
Nice
despawn.
job.
Great job, Stewie. He gets all the hard stuff.
All right, so while they're in more autoscrollers, feel free to read some donations.
Absolutely. $5 from Lackadaisical. Choo choo. $5 donation train hype.
Choo choo.
Here comes the train again. Bryson Robot gives $25. I heard there was a $5 donation train coming. I'd like 5 tickets, please. Choo choo.
That train is coming.
Yeah.
Glad about that.
Its chews are changing, though.
All right, now we're going to see Mitch in the Ice Whippers here. Bit of a slip up, but he's going to go for a P-Speed.
Yeah, that's a very difficult P-Speed build.
Take damage.
They take that on purpose. It's okay, guys.
That's in
Don't fret. It's okay. He's fine.
Thanks for covering for him.
Yeah, it's like they don't necessarily need the leaf in a lot of these stages.
Again, the leaf, in fact, slows you down in a lot of ways. It makes it very difficult to do certain jumps, especially if you have very good muscle memory for your P-Speed strat. So a lot of times people lose it as soon as possible. Big H.
H. A little bit of lag reduction, too, from Mitch in this level, actually using that grab block, too. And you see Haxor doing it as well to kill a couple of those nipper plants to reduce a little bit of lag as they run through.
Reduces a bit of lag, creates a better runway for making that initial P-Speed build. It's important. And they're going to P-Wing over this stage. In other formats of the game, you'll see people trying to wall jump over it. But they're going to take the easy road here and just P-Wing over it. They've got the biggest... They've got their biggest inventory category, so they can reach deep for P-Wings whenever they need them. This is one of the coolest strategies in the game. This white block pickup is really cool. Trying to maintain the P-Speed while going left and right is nearly impossible for a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of that. You see Haxor doing it too. Oh, he got it.
Yeah, he got it first
Haxor
try.
got
That was
it.
incredible.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of that movement is to maintain your P-Speed and be like swooping left and right so you can contact the ground enough to maintain that while you're waiting for that grabby individual to
It's basically a
puck.
throw block. I think it's coded as like an ice block, but I never understood that name.
There is actually a clip you can go for in the fortress that'll take you directly to Boom Boom's room.
Yeah, it was actually in the world record for years. Like, people actually grinded and waited. I guess they weren't waiting for it, but they kept getting it for some reason. But it's one of the hardest in the game to get. And if you miss it, you fall into spikes. So it's kind of incredible that even happened historically.
Yeah, I love how the historically the record for this has changed hands. But not only that, it's not just been people beating the same record with the same strats, but what's the word I'm looking for? Innovating and finding new strats and finding new ways to just cut things out.
Ooh, Stewie taking the first death of the night, I believe.
You got this, Stewie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got this. Thanks, guys.
The Paragoomba there, was that a Paragoomba or was it a Paracupa? I didn't see that.
Oh, it was a Paracupa.
Yeah, I just didn't want to stay on screen for him.
Yeah, it can be tough. They go really high and really low, and it's easy to think they're just going to come back up, but they just want to keep going down.
Yeah, so this ship that Haxor and Mitch are in right now, here comes the sub-pixel setup that we were talking about during the interview, correct? So go ahead, you know it better than me.
Sure. At the end of this level, they figured out a way to get the perfect sub-pixel for 7-1, where if they, at the end of the stage, they come to a stop and they go right 1 pixel, that wraps their sub-pixel to a low number. And that low number is what they're going to need in 7-1 to give them a good first try at the clip.
Yeah, clips in this game essentially are 3 parts. You need a favorable sub-pixel to shove yourself into the wall. You need the right pixel landing to hit the seam, and then you need the good timing to get it correct.
Right. And you actually have to maintain the duck.
Yeah. So there's the movement. I just saw Haxor do it. The little tiny walk animation, and that hopefully will set up the sub-pixel.
Hopefully it was 1 pixel.
I can't believe. They're so close right now. I'm loving the race. It's like low key, like a really hot race right now.
I'm hoping they'll get first try at this clip coming up.
Yeah, I hear that.
I think I heard Mitch just say, "Why has it come down to this?"
So here it is. Yeah, we're gonna see the attempt at the 7-1 clip.
Ooh, unfortunate. Oh, Haxor didn't get the duck.
So here it is. It's Haxor and Mitch. Who's going to get the clip first?
Oh, there he goes. Mitch is in the wall.
And
oh, my.
And there's Haxor, almost the exact same amount of time in the level.
Exacxor.
And they both did it differently, too, because Mitch was crouching into the wall while Haxor was basically doing a jump stand.
Yeah, both clips are ways to clip, have about the same chance of working. Some people just like standing and some people like ducking. Mitch going for the safer strat here, although we've come up with a really cool new fast strat for 7-2 here.
Yeah, it all hinges on how you get P-speed, and they spend a little bit of time at the beginning running to the right and left, and that's to build the P-speed, and it does make the rest of the level faster, but if you could just generate P-speed on your way to the right, you would save having to do that run around, and that's the new strat that's been worked on.
All right, so now Stewie's going to approach 7-1 as well. We'll see if he can get it first try.
See if Stewie can manipulate his pixels.
Let's go.
I think we got a new crowd favorite.
New? He was always loved.
Returning.
So everyone's gotten quiet for this. We're all really interested.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh.
This is a big one. 7-5 here. Yeah, 7-5 here is a very interesting and technical stage. We've got a lot of slides under blocks and use of P-wing mechanics. Very easy to lose lots of time. Great job, Stu.
Nice job. Yeah, this level that Mitch and Haxor are on right now is like such a non-linear type of level. I mean, you're kind of running straight for a while, but you're going up the pipes, down the pipes. And in a game like SMB3, where P-speed preservation is king of speed strats, it really makes a challenge for the runners to try to get through it as fast as they can.
And it's in tight quarters with a P-wing, which is not how people are used to moving.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
I want to point out that little strat that Haxor did. You're supposed to go down below. When he jumped over that gap and flew over there with the P-wing, you're actually supposed to go down and build yourself a little bridge. Mm-hmm. But by doing it that way and having the P-speed, he was able to just fly across that gap and just saved him a lot of routing.
Right. If you didn't have a P-wing there, you would actually try to make the first block there and clip through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the only other way to go fast.
So now we're seeing the dreaded auto-scroller in a water section.
Oh, a damage for Mitch, losing the leaf on the boss bass.
There are some places.
Or was that intentional?
There are some places where those siege creatures can spawn that are just not helpful, and it's very easy to get hit here. It looks like Haxor is getting pretty good luck here, but Mitch got bit.
Yeah, this is a really rough level.
But here, this doesn't look like a great fish, but he'll get around it.
What determines the spawn position of the boss bass? Is it just random, or because it seems like an auto scroll? It seems like everything would load consistently.
You would think. I don't actually know what changes boss bass's load there. I know that these little what are they?
Black
bloopers. The bloopers. They're also pretty wily.
He's an enigma wrapped in a mystery.
Yeah.
A little bit of lag reduction, killing those fish and making sure there's not a lot of sprites on screen. Is that lag reduction?
I think they actually caused lag there by accident. The falling fish, they only cause the lag when they are falling like that, I believe. Oh my goodness, he just threaded an incredible needle there. That was great nimbility on Haxor's part.
So we are going to have to play, because this is 100%, we're going to have to play these little muncher mini games, I guess they are, little mini levels.
Yeah, they count kind of like Hammer Bros, but they can't turn into coin chips as far as I know. They pull you into the level instantly, and they're just short little ways to get items for most of us.
Yeah, using a star to get through that as opposed to try to time out all those jumps.
And Mitch is actually going to use his P-Wing in this level and cloud over the fort. And this is a good way to save a P-Wing, because with a leaf, you can go up to the pipe in the next level without having to go around and pick up the item in the roundabout way that the fort tries to get you to. But he also uses the P-Wing for that level that he was in. And that was an incredible P speed build. It's very difficult to do.
Yeah, getting that jump off of that one tile there was really, really precise.
With a leaf suit that most people are not as comfortable doing precise jumps with.
There's so much nuance in this run. I think it's one of my favorite games because of that. There's just endless amounts of nuance and backup strats.
Endless nuance, endless backup strats, and enough RNG that you really do have to grind it to get the run that you're really capable of.
So this is another level that Mitch is on right now in the lower left, with the global cycles, that patui plant there, and these little white nipper plants that'll jump or shoot fire. And he wants to kind of ensure that he has a good cycle at the end. Getting through though. The Haxor opting for the hammer suit in this, that's a little bit of a route change because you can go in this little bonus area and get the hammer suit. Is that for the fort?
When you're getting a hammer suit, you're really saying, I want to save all of my time in the boss fights. He's now committed to keeping this hammer suit all the way through the Bowser in order to save time.
Yeah, because it cost him a little bit of extra time to go and pick it up in the first place.
Right, and it also means that he cannot use a P-Wing in level 9.
Yeah, so this level Mitch is on too, also a couple of clip potentials, but it's really, really difficult to get. You could change some of the routing in this level by clipping through corners, but it's not very reliable, and trying it over and over again would end up losing time. So it's best to just try it once or twice. Yeah,
it's almost surely going to lose time in a race, unless you're really grinding it out for good luck and stuff.
But now we will have to go back and play that fort that was skipped with the cloud, right? We're just doing it in a different...
Right, it's just so that you can use your P-Wing to also give you a leaf in the next level. Because the P-Wing is necessary because you can't build the P-Speed in the level after the fort. There's not enough room. Yeah. So you use a P-Wing to have it already. And then you have the leaf still to go back and do your fort.
Yeah, because once you beat a level with the P-Wing, you don't have the infinite P-Speed anymore, but you still do have the rack.
But you still have a leaf.
Haxor lost his hammer suit.
Oof, that's a tough loss. It takes quite a few seconds to pick up that hammer suit, and luckily when you lose it here, you can switch back to the fire strats, and most people are pretty comfortable with that, but the hammer suit would have really saved some time on the boss and made up for the time you lost to pick it up.
Pretty much with the hammer suit, if you were to throw a hammer on Boom Boom, and it kind of acts like the same kill with the star,
right?
Just overflowing the HP.
And this fort, 7-2, is most people's least favorite when they are picking up like a randomizer or something, and they're getting tossed into this early in the game. It's a very difficult peace speed strategy. And
ooh, I like that strat from Haxor.
Haxor's just doing it incredibly right now.
Yeah, jumping right into that and then sniping that fire flower, piranha plant with the fire flower just as he's about to enter that pipe instead of having to wait for it or do a higher jump.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit with the fast part of doing the last room, but he made up some time there, especially since Mitch took 2 hits doing that level.
So can we mention what Stewie Cartman is trying here is a really difficult clip through that pipe that's like sub-pixel perfect, frame perfect, position perfect.
Yeah,
but it would have skipped
basically
the whole level.
speed perfect.
Yeah.
You have to have the max speed basically possible, and well, almost. And you have to be going down at almost a perfect downward diagonal, and you can go into a pipe from the top, and you'll just slide straight through it all the way to the end of the game, or to the end of the level.
Wow.
A lot to take in, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
All right, so we're in the World 7 airship. This is actually the longest airship in the game, I believe. It's like
Distance-wise, yeah. And it doesn't move as slowly as World 4, but it's also one of the slowest moving.
Stewie getting that first clip on the upper right part of your screen, and now he has to get this next clip. He got
He did.
it.
There we go.
Oh.
He is actually stuck there if he doesn't clip more. And I'm surprised to see him skipping the flower. There is a flower there that he just passed.
Actually, I think
there's another one
it's
here,
there.
so okay.
All right, so if you got any donations, feel free to read them.
I do. We've got $9 from Freddie Jarva. $1 for every hand I'm expecting to see.
Oh, that's nice. In this run, the hands aren't going to be as big RNG. I think you've heard during the interview, but they're going to have to play all the hands no matter what. But there is still a small element of RNG because the hand physically reaching out to grab them takes more time than them just clicking into the level.
You can never avoid the hand RNG.
Yep, no matter what run you're in.
We've got a $25 donation from Cartridge Blowers. Hi, it's me, the host. $25 in support of the Haxor. Is it wrong for the host to play favorites?
I will allow it. Thanks, Cardi B.
All right, well, if you love auto-scrollers, well, get ready for World 8. There's plenty of them for you.
Oh, man, all right, let's go.
Just because they're auto-scrollers, though, doesn't mean they're free.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing some lag reduction in 8, right? For the 8 auto scrolls, because there's so many things shooting at you, bombs and cannonballs. And
especially in that first level. The first level has a lot of small ways to manipulate your lag to get a little bit of an advantage. And some of it looks really dangerous.
Yeah.
And
so we're going to see that old school
potential.
trick where they're doing constant bounce combos off of all the bombs and things, right?
Yeah.
Remember that old task and, get all the one-ups and stuff like... I mean, it's been how many years to be easy now?
Yeah, I mean, everyone should have just practiced that.
Yeah, jeez.
Now, for the most part, you can just kind of stay at the front of these. Most people don't want to do this, but it's because it looks so dangerous. But if you kind of know, you can just kind of sit in the front and jump over everything that's about to hit you. Because in the screen wrap, things don't hit you.
You can kind of notice too. There's a slight gap while they're like towards the right side of the screen. So even if there are like objects coming at them right away, it's not going to really take into effect until it's fully into the screen.
Right.
We'll actually see that like later, like towards the end of the run.
In the other tank level, it's even more simple. There's literally a strat where you just stand at the very front and you just kind of tap A and mash fire. Mitch kind of toyed around with that leaf block. I don't think that's what he wants, though.
Guys, this is Bowser's entire armada here. Like, be nice. They're really trying.
It's like he's just sending the whole cavalry right at you.
It's weird that he sent them like one at a time at this point. He's like, all right, I've got tanks, then I got a boat, and then I've got an air force.
Should we surround him? No, just line up one by one.
Yeah, one at a time, just like most movies.
You can probably imagine how much money like Bowser has to have all these troops.
I wonder if they're well paid. I hope so.
Probably in good mushroom coins or something.
Do they have insurance?
Probably not.
Oh.
Mitch got
You got rangless, which means there was no boomerang. So when a boomerang is thrown in that level, the boomerang has to go off screen before the level will finish. And because he killed it so fast, there was actually a faster box that was spawned.
Yeah, we see Haxor had to kind of have the boomerang on the screen. That's an interesting time save.
It's one of the very smallest ways you can save time in these auto-scrollers.
Yeah, but any little bit helps because
Yes.
if you can nail that one speed strat in an auto scroller, you're ahead by just a little bit.
Yeah, right now Mitch and the TheHaxor are still in the same level, and there are still some complicated levels coming up where time is savable. And I think TheHaxor might be down items because of the star he had to use in World 5 to get his Fire Flower back. So he may not have the comfort strats that Mitch is able to use in some of the levels.
Now, they're close enough, Mitch and Haxor, right now, that we might actually see a switch up because of hand RNG. Is that,
Hand RNG could potentially even it out, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it can quite pull him ahead, but it is a factor that we can be looking at.
Seen some boat swag from Mitch here.
Yeah, these auto scrolls become so mundane that people have to find all sorts of ways to entertain themselves. Just like bouncing under like a divot is great fun compared to standing still.
Here's something I always thought interesting as a kid. Since we're in the dark world, doesn't that water look like lava to you though? How is the boat still in effect?
I always thought it was more of a brown than a lava, which I don't know if I like what that implies, but
it's chocolate milk?
It's chocolate milk. Anyways, we did see the one-hand grab from Mitch there.
Yep.
Let's see if Haxor's going to enter the level.
TheHaxor did get to enter. He's got the faster entry.
Oh, man. We might actually see some evening out here if Mitch gets another hand. These are very short levels, though, these hand levels.
Yeah, this was to kind of give you a nice little inventory boost before you fought Bowser and did some of these hard last levels. Ooh, the TheHaxor getting grabbed.
Mitch gets all three.
Oh, wow. All three. That's pretty unlucky. No rangless for Stewie.
Nice jump for Mitch going over that barrier with those fish. He can actually, it doesn't exist up above the screen there, so you can just jump right over it.
Yeah.
And
5 out of 6.
Give him a hand. You get it. So Mitch on this really scary airship right now. This one was always the toughest one for me when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not just P-winging over it, That's what everyone else does, right? Right? All of us?
I may have.
Yes.
No, it's a very fast-moving auto-scroller comparatively to every other one in the game, and I think that Nintendo actually put it in the top hardest levels that they've created of all time, especially for the time that they put it in.
Yeah, really think about that. This was 88, 89, a tough level.
88 for Japan, 90 for USA.
We didn't have speed running back in those days. But actually, maybe we did because we're going to get to see the coming up in the castle, the little clip from Nintendo Power that they mentioned. But that's not yet. We got to get through the Dark World first.
All right, so Mitch is opting to use the star in 8-1.
Yeah, and this is one of those safety or comfort stars, as I was talking about. It's not really faster to use that than to just shoot fire, but it makes you a lot less likely to get hit on some of those early things.
Yeah, just a few bonks there made him lose P speed.
That was actually some really good rerouting on the fly. You see TheHaxor getting it perfect over
nice
there.
job, TheHaxor. That was really good.
That's absurdly good.
Especially getting that slide underneath that one tile gap again, because you really have to be precise to maintain it.
And he did not have his safety star that Mitch used.
Wow, so here comes Mitch looking out for this angry stun. And he got the jump, or I don't think it's nope, not going to hit him.
Strange loss of P-speed there. I don't actually know why he lost it running across the ground at the end there. HaxOr having a little trouble with the hill. This is going to be okay, though, because the fort has a flower right where Mitch is passing right now. And that's what he's going to pick up, and it won't be too big.
Now, this is another one of those kind of oddly non-linear levels where you're going through a lot of doors and kind of going up and down and stuff.
Right. You go through different doors, and they each take you back to the last room you were in, and you have to go basically across 2 levels in segments.
Nice. The first try.
1 cycle,
Yeah,
and
one
he got
cycle.
the slide under for like some extra speed, because otherwise you have to wait on the conveyor belt for a really long time.
Yeah, he saved himself a little bit of movement space.
Ooh, just over jumping it on HaxOr's part.
Yeah, so if you do miss that, the first cycle, like HaxOr, you can actually go and just get the P-switch from this box the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, and there's a really cool clip you can do that HaxOr going for here. Yep.
What?
Yeah, if you're halfway through a door, you just spawn halfway into the wall on the other side, and you just start clipping.
That's amazing. Nice job. Impressed. That was wow.
And here we are in the super tank for Mitch. He's just standing on the right, just shooting. Nothing's like really in the way for him.
This is the, what is it, the day 1 affiliate Oglib super strat or something?
Patented. We totally botched it. I'm sorry. With a vengeance. I just know that much.
With a vengeance. It had to be with a vengeance.
I'm sure Glib is just shaking his head right now. But
At least he got his name in.
all right, so we're pretty much in the home stretch of the run here. So if you got any more donations, feel free to read.
Sure thing. We have got $100 from Auto Scroller, who says, I love SMP3 levels, but I hate the levels that, like, move on their own, whatever that's called. $25 from Shiraya, who says, $25 in support of Mitch to balance out the host bias.
Oh.
All right.
There we go.
You're still killing it
Called
with
out.
cartridge blowers. Thanks, I guess. We've got $5 from John Otto. Can we get some Stewie hype? Stewie, what a clip.
And Mitch is actually coming in here on the final boss fight pretty soon. So,
The time will be for Mitch when he enters the door.
right. As soon as the door goes to the princess's room.
And it's
Basically just
35
mash fire into this guy's head.
Oh no, Mitch, look out. You're going to get crushed by Bowser.
Something a lot of people don't know is that Bowser actually doesn't have a hitbox in his lower half.
You don't say.
Yeah. Oh, the swag!
Oh my. Wow, such a close race. Time coming up for Mitch.
Time.
Time for Mitch. Nice job. Very nice job.
Yeah, that was a great job.
Here goes HaxOr into the Bowser fight.
That was incredibly close, too. HaxOr's only 1 Bowser fight behind, which is not a long fight in this category. It's
Yeah, all these racers are so close, but you've seen they've all taken different bumps in the road. They've had different ups and downs and gotten different tricks or not gotten different tricks, and they all wind up about the same. And it just speaks so much to their improvisational strength and
Right.
the really hardcore routing that's been done with this
time
game.
for HaxOr. Absolutely wild. It was so cool.
Wow.
There were some swings in there.
Wow.
Not just like one person in the lead the whole time. That was pretty good.
That's what's that? Less than a minute.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, less than a minute apart from HaxOr and Mitch. That's incredible.
Yeah, and like a world record run for this is in the 110s right now. The 109 is what is being gone for. So just losing 2 minutes in a race is absolutely crazy. And they are getting so consistent that we're seeing this all the time now.
I love the camaraderie in the community. You guys are always talking about different strats and helping each other out and encouraging each other.
Oh yeah, everyone just wants to see the game get better.
All right, so now we see Stewie approaching the final boom boom.
The final boom boom.
Let's get some hype for Stewie,
He
guys.
got it. He killed that boom boom in a fantastic way.
Last level. Bring it home, Stewie.
You got this, bud.
Oh, he went for the clip, but he didn't get it. Saves a little bit of time. Oh, he's going to keep going for
Try
it.
for it.
You guys will see this.
Let's go.
Come on, get this clip.
Stewie. There he goes.
All right.
That's a clip you basically only see in any percent.
He's got to get that old, that's the clip that Nintendo Power told you about.
Thanks, Nintendo Power.
I love that there's just like a slight bug in their game. They're like, no, it's a secret. We hid it in here for you.
Here's the Bowser fight.
Time coming up for Stewie on the door.
Mash him right into his face.
There we
and
go.
there he goes. Bowser's down. Everyone saved the princess. She was saved across all realities.
Such a tight race. I am blown away by the skill and consistency of all these guys. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely great job.
Time for Stewie.
Look at these guys just talking it up.
Yeah, they just want to talk about their runs because they were so focused on their own. Now they get to brag and tell each other what happened. They're so excited.
So our winner today, MFP.
Yeah,
Mitch,
give the crowd a wave.
He's too busy being.
Oh
frank.
goodness. There he goes. He's realized we're cheering for him. Yeah. Thanks everybody for coming out for the Mario 3 100% race. I hope all the people who were watching had a great time. I hope the runners felt good about this. And here on the couch, I think we can all agree this was a great time.
Good job.
I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Give it up one more time for that incredible couch to Mitchflowerpower, TheHaxor, and Stewie Cartman.